Last Wednesday night, Martin Mercier was the unlikely hero, scoring 2 goals as Maine built a 5-1 lead over Providence. But the Friars mounted a comeback, and when it was over, the Black Bears had escaped with a narrow 6-4 victory and 2 valuable points in the Hockey East standings. Last night, Miami of Ohio came to the Alfond and ran into a buzzsaw. Coach Sean Walsh broke up his line combinations, and everyone responded. The result was an 11-4 shellacking of the Redskins. Tonight, Maine must guard against a letdown as they go for win number 17. It's Maine versus Miami next. Good evening and welcome to the Alfond Arena. The Black Bears wrap up their final non-conference weekend of the season tonight as they host the Miami Redskins. Hello everyone, I'm Dave Allers. Tonight the Black Bears will wrap up the non-conference season. They are 5 of their last 6. They have won 5 of their last 6, and against non-conference teams they are 12-2-1. The Black Bears will get back into Hockey East action next weekend when they take on Northeastern here, but for now they'll look for the sweep of Miami. Dale Duff and Scott Smith will be handling all the play-by-play duties of tonight's game, and they've got a look at some of the key matchups this evening.
Well, Dave, thanks very much, and hello, everybody. And should be an interesting ball game. Will there be a letdown? I guess that's the big question tonight. A couple of the key players to watch for the Redskins from Miami. Number 11, Enrico Blasi.
Well, Blasi's a little guy, 150-pound freshman out of Western Ontario. Got 3 goals last night. Coach of the Redskins feels that he's going to be a real leader in the future.
And for the Maine Black Bears, Brian Downey, big night last night.
Well, Brian struggled past few games, and he really turned it on last night, got the hat trick, and Brian's a heck of a player.
Okay, so it's the Black Bears and the Redskins, and we'll have the opening face-off for you next.
To find out what's happening in Hollywood, watch Entertainment Tonight weekdays at 5:30 on 6 Alive. Hi, everybody. I'm Mary Hart.
And I'm John Tesh. ET has your invitation to the elite parties, opening night galas, and backstage interviews.
So catch Entertainment Tonight, followed by the News Center team at 6, and that's only on 6 Alive.
I hear you looking. We're thinking about it. We're listening. You're in.
Coca-Cola Classic. You can't beat the real thing.
Perry Mason is on the case of the ruthless reporter tonight. A Perry Mason premiere in its entirety tonight after UMaine hockey only on 6 Alive.
All right, back at Alfond Arena, the starting lineups. Let's go to PA announcer Joe Kennedy.
Between the Miami University Redskins and your University of Maine Black Bears. Now for the Miami Redskins at left wing, a freshman from Sudbury, Ontario, number 17, Brian Savage. At center, a freshman from Weston, Ontario, number 11, Enrico Blasi. At right wing, a sophomore from Wallaceburg, Ontario, number 24, Chris Bergeron. On defense, a freshman from Willowdale, Ontario, number 3, Bobby Marshall. On defense, a freshman from Cleveland Heights, Ohio, number 26, Andy Rodman. And in goal, a freshman from Sudbury, Ontario, number 1, Richard Schulmistra. The Redskins are coached by George Grozdecki. And now for your University of Maine Black Bears! At left wing, a freshman from St. Methode, Quebec, number 16, Patrice Tardif. At center, a sophomore from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, number 9, Randy Olsen. At right wing, a sophomore from Rosemere, Quebec, number 28, Jean-Yves Roy. On defense, a junior from Pawtucket, Rhode Island, number 7, Keith Carney. On defense, a senior from Bozeman, Montana, number 23, Brian Straub. And in goal, a junior from Wrentham, Massachusetts, number 30, Garth Snow. The Black Bears are coached by Sean Walsh. Referee for tonight's game is Ned Bunyan. Linesmen are Mike Toole and John Mellinson. Please remain standing and join Valerie Lapointe in singing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ripping, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, the referees for tonight's game is Ned Bunyan. He's from Massachusetts. John Melanson is from Massachusetts. And Mike Toole, another linesman, he is from Orono, Maine. In goal for the Redskins from Miami University, a freshman, 19 years old, Richard Shumustra. He played the second half of last night's game. Junior Lee Cannon started in the game last night for the Redskins. And for the Black Bears, it'll be Garth Snow, the junior, back in net for Sean Walsh. Mike Dunham, the freshman, is back from the World Games, but he came back with a strained hamstring.
Well,
and
non-conference game, there's no reason why you should test it. Garth is rested, and he can come in there and stop the puck again tonight.
And Garth, of course, with a fantastic record this year, and it'll be Garth Snow in goal for Sean Walsh. Rob Howland will again be the backup man for the Bears.
Sean looks like he has his game face on, ready to go again.
Well, he does have to guard against that letdown. Maine beat this team 11-4 last night, and his good friend, Miami coach George Gwizdecki.
Well, George isn't a stranger to the Alphon. He was here with Michigan State, and he's a real quality person. Coach Mike Piette, one of the former assistants out at Wisconsin River Falls.
All right, play underway at Alphon, and it is the Tardif, Olsen, and Roy line out there for the Bears, with Straub and Carney on defense, and Roy has it. He'll move in the right side. Being held off the play now by Rodman. Tries to center it, pops in the air, and Rodman will clear the zone. Now Blase fires it down, and the Redskins make quick changes. Randy Olsen, number 9 for Maine, will dump it in, but that will be icing on the Bears.
Oh, the big high-powered line of Jean-Yves Roy, Patrice Tardif, and or actually Brian Downey and Jimmy Montgomery broken up this weekend. Tried to get a little different look. See how some guys play together in the non-conference play. You can do that.
Sean Walsh said he wanted to try to take a little pressure off that line, a little pressure off Roy from having to score all the time, and maybe balance out the lines a little bit better, and it certainly paid off last night.
Definitely a calculated risk, and it paid off last night for him.
Now it's Pellerin trying to move ahead, held off slightly by Trent Eigner, and it works to slow him down and get him off the puck. Now it's Sulfy for Maine. He'll just dump it in the zone, and Robitaille will go after it. But on it is Eigner. He's out there with John Baker on defense. Maine takes over. Matt Martin at center ice drives it back in. Here comes Sulfi. Centering pass. It comes to Maine, and Robitaille couldn't tip it in. Shot on by Pellerin, and Robitaille couldn't quite get the stick on it.
A lot of defensemen get themselves in trouble. They see that long pass and they try making it, and it almost paid off for Maine there.
Here's Robitaille busting in, tries to tuck it in that corner, held on to by Shulmistra. Robitaille kind of coming in all by himself, 1-on-3, and almost found that bottom corner.
Well, Martin's real smart around the net, and he has that opportunity to take a shot, and he says, what the heck, why not just get it on net early here and see what this kid's got? So he just comes in and just takes a little backhander, just try to sneak it in the side there. Goaltender making a real nice stop on the side.
Robitaille playing in his 114th consecutive game in a Maine Black Bear uniform. Mr. Durable. All right, Dan Murphy drives it in front. There's a Montgomery couldn't quite get the stick on it, and now the Redskins dump it in. That'll be an icing call against the Redskins, as it was Vanderwright dumping it in, but he was on the other side of the red line. Garth Snow, what can you say about the junior from Rentham, Mass? He's been asked to play a lot in recent time with Dunham off to the World Games, and he has done a fantastic job.
Well, he definitely has enough playing time under his belt to handle any challenges that are set forth to him, and he's in good shape, and he can play every night if he has to.
11 wins, 3 losses, 2.98 goals against average. Now the Redskins broken up at center ice. Maine will chase. Montgomery is out there with Downey and Tomlin. That's the new line there. That breaks. Joe Cook for the Redskins tries to move in. Now he'll just fire it in, and Maine and both teams now decide to make some quick changes. Now Matt Kelly on it. Ooh, there's a collision with Downey, and Montgomery has the puck. Now taken over by Kelly, and he'll send it to the neutral zone. Carney dumps it back in, and Maine completes that line change. It's Fenton along with Lacouture and Chuck Texera out there, Maine's fourth line tonight. Ken House drives it in for Miami. Chasing after it is Kelly, but Lacouture is there first. Fenton drives it with a skate to freeze it up to Straub. Ryan Straub, Bozeman, Montana, to Keith Carney. He's from Rhode Island, and up comes Keith at center ice, finds Fenton. Into the corner he'll go. Centers the puck. There's a shot and a score! David Lacouture!
The Redskin defense just kind of lets up on Eric Fenton, and you can hear Lacouture yelling across the ice, and Eric just slides it over to him, and boy, that was a nice heads-up play by Dave Lacouture getting open there. Nice one-timer, shot the puck right off the pass. Eric Fenton takes a look, and you can hear him yelling right up here in the booth. The communication is so important, especially in a barn like the Alphont.
For Lacouture, it's his second goal of the year. Give Eric Fenton an assist. That's his first point of the year, so good for him. Now in front, there's another shot. Shulmistra makes a nice stop there, and Miami comes back. It's Enrico Blasi driving it in. He's got Brian Savage on one side, Chris Bergeron on the other, but Roy sends it outside the zone. Now it's Olsen. Tries to connect with Tardif. Baker stops that play momentarily, and it's offside. Well, Sean Walls has to be very tickled because his fourth line scores the first goal of the night.
Well, it's a little bit of a boost, and the rest of the players on the upper lines can say, well, hey, that's great. That's a bonus.
Sean Walsh with a record of 16-5-1. You know, at this time last year, the Bears were 16-6-1. So how about that? From one year to the other, consistency is the name of the game here at Alphon. This is the last non-Hockey East game of the year in the regular season, and the Bears would like to finish out on a winning note. Everything else counts in Hockey East after tonight. Now Chris Imes, just back from the junior games himself, out there on defense, along with Dan Murphy, and up comes Pellerin, tries to get it to Robitaille, a little bit too far ahead. Joe Cook has it and sends it around the dasher. Now Imes does a nice job to keep it in, just backhands it on Shulmistra. goes to the corner, winds up out in the neutral zone. Now Pellerin from Shediac, New Brunswick, moves around, good move, centering pass, oh, and SoFi almost had one there. Beautiful pass from Pellerin. He'll circle again. Straub is open. His shot is deflected off the skate of Van der Eyck, but on it is Robitaille. Heavy pressure by the Bears, and they pick up right where they left off last night. Now SoFi is 22 against the boards. The puck squirts to center ice. Straub moves in, dumps it in. Maine will make another change. We've played 4.5 minutes here in the opening period. The Bears have a 1-0 lead over Miami University from Oxford, Ohio. In southwestern Ohio. Best known for football, this school. Against the boards, Tomberlin working with Downey. 2 Redskins are there to ride him off the play, and Rob Van der Eyck fires it down the ice. Long enough for the Redskins to make another change. Now Holdeman pins his man to the boards. Carney goes to the corner, though, and gets it. Keith Carney, an All-American defenseman for the Bears last year. Now it's Bobby Marshall moving in. The defenseman rushes, stopped nicely by Garth Snow. That's his first save of the night. Now Downey takes a man to the boards, and the Bears and Redskins make more line changes. Good changes so far here in the game. There's a break in the action. The Bears lead the Redskins 1-0, and we'll be back in 30 seconds.
Mon chéri, remember where we met?
Oh, yes, at the kennel shop. A wonderful place.
There are a lot of good things being said about the kennel shops.
Look at the fun toys.
And they're being said by those who know.
Love the food.
Yum, yum, yum. So come in.
Wait for me.
We care about the little things in life. The Kennel Shop and Animal Care Centers for all your pet's needs. Located in Portland, Augusta, North Windham, and now in the Auburn Plaza next to Rich's.
David Lacouture, Scott Mazie on the draw just outside the blue line, won by Maine. The Bears leading 1-0 over Miami. 5 minutes into this first period of play. If you missed it last night, the Bears beat Miami 11-4. Now Eigner drives it in the Maine zone, and that'll be icing as he wasn't over that line, and that was kind of a silly play there by Eigner. He had to take one more step, and he would have prevented the icing before he shot the puck in.
Well, like we said earlier, it's nice to see a line like this get a goal. Lacouture and Fenton, you know, they come out here and they just start banging around, and really a mucking up line, and it's good to build their confidence getting a nice goal like that.
Mazie and Lacouture, this time won by the Redskins, and out they break. Up it'll be Van der Eyck moving in. Puck squirts in front there, and Snow sticks that away easily, and Kelly keeps it in. Now Snow will come out one more time. Stick handles the puck nicely, but Baker at the point through a screen. Never really reaches Snow. Now it does, and he'll fire it away again. Now Link goes to the ice to try to clear the zone. Redskins with their best pressure of the night. Shot fired wide and high over the net, and the Maine Bears come back. Lacouture will dump it in, and Sean Walsh calls for another line change. And the defensive set changes as well. Imes is back out there with Dan Murphy. This is Chris Imes. Now Roy tried to go around 2 men, almost did. He'll have to get outside the zone now, and does. He tags up and comes back after the puck. Now Baker and Ken House. They'll simply drive it down. Will that be icing? Yes. Well, the Bears, except for that one brief flurry just a moment ago, have had the territorial advantage. As you look at number 9, Randy Olson from Saskatoon. My fondest memory of him is last year going out to Wisconsin in the playoffs at O'Hare Airport. He's got a fishing line out there with a $1 bill tied to it in the hallway, and trying to see people grab after that $1 bill at O'Hare.
He's a little bit of a practical joker, that's for sure.
He sure is. Randy Olson. 8 minutes played now in this first period. The Bears with a 1-0 lead. David Lacouture gets the goal for the Bears. Now it's Roy at center ice. Tries to connect with Tardif, but can't quite. Back after it is Jan-Louis, number 28 for the Redskins. Maine keeps it in. Tardif pinned against the boards momentarily, but now Olsen tries to stuff it home. Stopped by Schulmistra as he held that side. Now Savage with it. He'll try to move in. Bergeron fires it in, and the Redskins change again. They need to fire it in the zone just to make line changes. That's the way it has been for Miami so far tonight. Now back comes Straub. He's got Pellerin with him. Moving in. Tries to connect in front. Here comes Sulfai. His wrister is just wide of the net as he ripped off a good one there. Now Savage has it jump over his stick. Here's Brian Straub for Maine. In he comes. He's got Sulfai busting in, and he can't get the shot. Backhander, and he scores! It's Sulfai, and he deserves it.
Great point here. Kent didn't go past the net after that initial rush. He stopped in front of the net, and boom, the rebound came right back to him. Here you can see an initial. He just has great poise, and he brings it in front. He doesn't score on the first one. Goaltender makes a great diving poke check. Ken Sulfai stops right there and says, hey, I'm going to come back and see what's going to happen here, and boom, it's in the net. Showing great speed to go around the Redskins defenseman, and so many forwards go right by the net in that situation. He just hit the brakes, came right back out in front.
And for Sulfai, the sophomore from New York, it's his 3rd goal of the year. He too went to the World Games in Saskatchewan a couple of weeks ago, but had to come back because of an injury. And since being back with the Bears, has played very well this week. The Bears trying to come up with their 3rd win of the week. Remember, they beat Providence earlier in the week and beat these Miami Redskins last night, so it could be a nice 3-0 week. That's what they're trying for, and they have a 2-0 lead right now. Now the Redskins with some pressure on behind the net, taken over by Maine. Carney goes down to the ice, but Downey gets it outside the zone. Marshall fires it right back in for the Redskins. Again, Miami has to do that in order to change. Now, here comes House. Ken House all alone, trying to work some moves against Carney, and Keith won't let him do it. He'll just ride him to the boards. Now in front, the puck is loose. On it is Matt Martin. His pass intercepted by Mazzy. Trying to move in. Backhander stopped by Snow and sticked away. He had to be quick there. Now Tarmelin just clears the zone. It's dropped back in there now by the Redskins as both teams change again. Now Eigner at center ice with Kelly. Both teams with fresh troops up there now. Baker moves it in. That was probably the best opportunity for the Redskins there. Now Lacouture pinned against the boards. Blase takes a hit. Texera has it for Maine. He's making his Black Bear debut. Chuck Texera, number 26. Baker and Eigner on defense, trying to move the puck ahead. They do. And they take over. In front, the centering pass knocked away by Martin, but in breaks Eigner. There's a shot, goes wide. On it now is Kelly, and he'll dump it in deep. To the corner they go, and Rico Blase, who had 3 goals last night, pinned against the boards, and Tardif comes back out for the Bears. Now here comes Roy, trying to go around one man. Olsen had it momentarily. Cook is back on it for Miami. He'll leave it, but there's nobody but white shirts there, and the Bears will come back. Louis and Joe Cook play defense, and they man the puck ahead to Stephen Rohr. He'll move in against Imes. He'll shoot it on, stopped by Snow. A second shot is kicked away by Snow. Nice play, Gar Snow, on 2 chances by Miami.
Miami's buzzing. last 3 or 4 minutes, they've been really going after the Black Bears. Maine's offensive forwards have to play a little more defense, neutral zone and in the defensive zone, or else Maine's going to find themselves in trouble.
There's a long-range shot by Stephen Rohr, and it was stopped nicely by Snow. And the Bears will come back. Pellerin goes to the corner, still maintains control, centers the puck right on Shomustra, and he'll hold on. There's a break in the action. The Bears have a 2-0 lead over the Redskins, and we'll come back to Alphond in just a moment.
We've got the look that fits your life.
Get the look for less, 20 to 40% less during the sale at Young's. 20 to 40% off Henriton, Knob Creek, and James River. 20 to 40% off all furnishings at Young's. Your look, the right look. 20 to 40% off during the sale at Young's.
Young's, we've got the look.
It's Robitaille against Tom Holdeman on this draw. Won by Robitaille. Straub drives it around the dasher. Pellerin is there. Centering pass. Knocked down is Robitaille in front. Still got a shot off that went wide. Now Pellerin continues to control the puck. Eigner tries to stick check him. Brings him down to the ice finally, and there's a whistle, and I think we're going to have a penalty on the Redskins.
Tom Holdeman was watching Martin Robitaille right in the high slot, and he's either going to go for a trip or an interference. He kind of knocked Martin down. Kind of a questionable call. He's giving him a hook. You see on the replay here. Maybe this is the hook here. Scott Pellerin working hard behind the net. No. Oh, they did give it to Tom Holdeman.
Yeah, I think he called it not on the play we just saw. I think it was something in front of the net that you were talking about.
I was watching in front of the net, and he hooked on Martin Robitaille.
Probably could have called either one. Gave it to Holdeman. And so the Bears on the power play for the first time tonight. Montgomery moves in, tries a backhander. It's stopped in front. Oh, he looked pretty on that play. Now he got it again. Cross ice, it'll come down. He just couldn't pull the trigger. Oh boy, the Bears are dangerous on the power play. Here comes Downey again. Behind the net, he's got Roy. Back it'll come to Imes. Now the turn and shot by Downey goes wide, but here's Robitaille. What a powerful power play the Bears have. They were 5 of 8 last night. In front, look at that pass, and Downey shot, score!
Give Enrico Blasi an assist on that one. Redskins were playing pretty well. They're holding up a box, trying to block passing lanes, and made a cross-ice pass, and it came right on the stick of Brian, and he one-timed it, and Redskins goaltender didn't have much of a chance in this one. This was upstairs.
So Brian Downey picks up right where he left off last night. 3 goals last night. He's got another one tonight, so give him 15 for the year.
Nice big smile on his face. He's happy with that one.
And only Jean-Yves Roy has scored more on the Maine team. The Bears now have a 3-0 lead. Now here come the Bears one more time. Tony Link with the puck. Holdeman is holding against him.
Well, Chuck Textera is going to go off for a charge. For his first game in the Black Bear uniform, he's a little hungry.
Yeah, I get a chance to see what that sin bin looks like then, huh? Away from the action, it'll be Chuck Texera.
Mr. Bunyan right on the spot. Here we can see him just kind of, players can really get hurt on a charge like that. That just jolts your whole body, especially when you don't see him coming. You know, in a good team there, you usually could hear guys yelling that someone's right on them, and we couldn't hear anything over here, so I'm sure the Redskin player didn't hear old Chuck coming down on him.
There he is, the man they call Tex. Making his debut, he's a transfer student.
See what the Redskins do here on the power play.
They scored some power play goals last night as well. In fact, I think 3 of the 4 goals they scored last night were on the power play. In fact, I think their 4th goal was a shorthanded goal. So their special team play was pretty good as well. There's Snow, has his clearing shot knocked down by the Redskins, and they put some pressure on here in the power play. There's Vanderwright out there with Eigner. The shot on by Cook is stopped by Snow. Bergeron keeps it in to the corner. Blasi goes after it. There's Vanderwright in front. The shot never really got on the stick of Bergeron and is cleared by the Bears. From point-blank range, I think Bergeron would have had a goal. Never got the stick on it, though. Now Pellerin breaks up this play. And 1 minute and 5 seconds left on the penalty to Maine's Chuck Texera. Scott Mazie is out there along with Cook and Eigner and Brown. This is Mazie. He'll tee it up and it'll go wide of Gar Snow. Cook keeps it in, fires it along the dasher. Mazer lets it go to Ken House. Now back it'll come to Cook. He'll drive it in wide of Snow. The rebound cleared by Maine. There's a heavy-duty collision with Robitaille and Mazie, I believe. Now Marshall headmans the puck to Brown, and the Redskins are offside.
Well, you're coming up to that blue line on the power play. You either have to get it deep or just keep a straight line for that blue line, because you have everyone else following you up, and they're all watching what you're doing, and they're trying to anticipate getting across that blue line, getting into the zone and setting up. Martin Robitaille, he felt that hit from Cook. Sean was giving it to Bunyan a little bit, trying to, hey, what's going on out here? Martin Robitaille, he can take it.
Boy, he has proven that time and time again. All right, Roy chases Jan Luik behind the net. Had the puck momentarily, but Marshall is there to collect. Bobby Marshall sounds like a DJ. Through center ice, the Redskins lose control of the puck. Marshall is on it again. Now only 4 seconds left on the power play opportunity, and now it has expired. Back 5 on 5, and the Redskins are offside. Well, the Bears got an early goal from David Lacouture. Ken Sulfy made it 2-0. Brian Downey made it 3-0, and that's where we stand with a little over 5 minutes to go in the game. And Keith Carney, who picked up right where he left off last year, had over 40 assists last year. He's got 22 already this year.
Great passing skills, and he's a really heads-up player in that neutral zone and offensive zone. He can usually find the forward sitting off to the side. Got a good hard shot.
Don't you think the Buffalo Sabres are happy they drafted him? They've already got Greg Brown from BC last year. Folks may remember him. They should anyway. He was a Maine nemesis, Greg Brown. Now Olsen turns and fires. It went wide of the net. Now Tardif is taken to the boards. And we've got another whistle and another penalty.
Tom Holdeman going to go off again for a high stick.
All right, we'll pick up the penalty call after this timeout. The Bears have a 3-0 lead over the Redskins.
We really enjoy doing business with them. We started getting our eating oil from them in 1940. Doesn't seem possible.
My experience has been that when you need them, they're there.
He promised us the next day we'd have oil, and we did.
Well, they're a local company.
We like that.
We do?
Sure.
Well, I like how they've delivered reliably here.
Brunswick Coal and Lumber. We deliver heating oil, propane, and heating service to Brunswick, Bath, Wiscasset, and Damariscotta. Your good friends down east.
If you watch behind the net here, you'll see Gary Brown come right up with a stick on Johnny Roy. Gives him a little tap.
Good call, because you got to call that stuff. Boy, up there can be dangerous, and so the Bears will have their second power play opportunity. Remember, Downey scored on the last one.
George Gwozdecki, the coach of the Redskins, before the game told me he really wanted to have his team concentrate on staying out of the penalty box because Maine does have such a powerful power play.
Pellerin's shot is knocked down by the blocker by Shumistra, but the Bears back on it. It'll come back to Carney, and now to Pellerin, who helps play the point there on the power play. Now it's knocked down, kept in nicely, though, by the Bears. Finally, it's knocked out of there by Bobby Marshall. Mazie almost had the puck cleared at one point, but It's driven back in by Maine, and Tardif is on it first. Patrice Tardif moving in close. His shot on, stopped in front, gets behind Shumustra, but the whistle blows, and he's got it there somewhere.
Shumustra, great concentration there. Made the initial stop, and that puck was going in the net. He's heads up enough to grab it. We'll see here. The shot comes in, and hey, he's down. He sees it's falling in the net, and Randy Olson just knocking on the door.
Olson will take this draw. Tardif is out there with Tomberlin and Carney and Pellerin. To the corner goes Tomberlin. Now Tardif joins in. Louis trying to get the puck but can't. It'll come back to Pellerin, who one-times it, knocked down in front, actually deflected away by a defenseman for Miami. Pellerin has it again. Now Carney. Back in the corner, it's Olson trying to move in front. There's a great move, and it hits the post. Oh, Carney had an open side, but hit the post or the side of the net, or else it would be 4-0 Maine.
Patrice Tardif just hangs onto that puck right off to the side of the net, and the smart offensive player Keith Carney is. He just comes right down the back door and tries to make a nice little move here, and got shut down.
Look at that. Hit the side of the net.
You gotta love to see those defensemen get goals, or at least have great scoring opportunities. And Sean really wanted his defensemen to concentrate this weekend and getting involved more with the offense.
Still 50 seconds left on the Maine power play. Downey is out there now. Chris Imes at the point. In front, it'll come to Montgomery. Knocked down on the play. Robitaille is on it. He'll just drive it around the dasher. Downey is up there with Roy and Robitaille now, along with Montgomery and Imes. Here's Chris Imes. His shot is high and wide. Now it's Maisie clearing it outside the zone for the Redskins. 24 seconds left on the Maine power play. They've already scored one power play goal, already lead 3-0 in the game. Here's Montgomery. His shot didn't quite get off. He wanted to fire a backhander, but it went wide. Now Downey in front. Oh, it's one-timed by Robitaille, and it just went wide again. Pretty passing by the Bears. In front, Rouette scores!
Redskin defense been letting Maine forward stand right down around the front of that net, and sooner or later it's going to come back to haunt them right here. See, Brian Downey makes a nice pass down to Jean-Yves. Now this puck almost looks like it just hit the crossbar. We'll see on the replay here. I don't know, Dale.
I don't know. I think it just...
Here we'll have it a little bit better look here. Makes the initial save, comes right back to Jean-Yves. Oh no, that hit the middle bar. Nice goal, Jean-Yves.
And for Roy, it's his 17th goal of the year. He now has 40 points on the season in just his 23rd game. Almost 2 points a game. Now Lacouture for Maine, rubbed out of the play by the Redskins against the boards. They finally clear the zone. That'll be icing. All right, take that back. It's Maine is offside, so player will have to clear the zone, and that's Texera, and he does it. Now Robitaille tries to go around Baker, but Baker stands him up nicely that time. Savage is on it for the Redskins. He'll break back. He's got Tom Holdeman. He'll move in. His shot goes wide of Gar Snow, and it hits the screen up over the glass, and that'll be a whistle.
Well, the Redskins come right back with a great opportunity. Seems like when you score a goal, you have a tendency to let up a little bit, and you can't do that against any Division I team. There he is, Jean-Yves Roy.
All right. Look at that from last year. 39 goals, the most ever by a freshman, and he already has 17 this year. He was in a little bit of a scoring drought. What, he'd gone 3 or 4 games only without a goal, and they mix up the lines, try to take a little pressure off him, and he had a goal last night. He's got a goal tonight. Now Tardif loses the handle, and the Miami Redskins take over. Imes and Murphy. play defense. A hit smartly to Rua. He'll break in. He'll shoot. And a stop by Shumustra. Oh, boy, he almost had a second one there, as Richard Shumustra had to come up big there on Rua. Now behind the net, the Bears with continued pressure. Tardif in front. Can't get the down to Rua as his stick was lifted on the play, but Olsen continues to keep it in the zone. Look at that move by Olsen. Now it's Tardif trying to make a move around a man. It's finally cleared out of there by Miami. This line is simply dominated as Tardif is offside on the play. And oh, what heavy pressure by Tardif and Rua.
Johnny's biggest asset is his speed. It's he does look like he's going that fast. The next thing you know, you're punching his ticket at the toll booth. He's gone. And here's a great example of it. The Redskins goaltender comes up with a great save. He tries beating him on his stick side and just steers it away.
All right, that's a great play. You don't stop Rua very often on plays like that, as he was bidding for his second goal of the night. Now here's a breakout by Tarvelin. He's in by himself. He'll shoot, and it goes wide of the net as the defenseman came back a little bit to cut down that angle. Now Montgomery cleared out of there by Terry Ouimet. He's out there with Vanderright and Rohr, and they'll fire it in the Maine zone. Carney is there, though, first for Maine. The quick clear by the Bears as Tarvelin centering it to Downey. Brian Downey will put on the brakes and try to pass. Now Straub knocks it up in the air, and Rohr takes over for the Redskins. Period dominated by the Bears. It's 4-0 Maine over Miami. Downey breaks in. In front, there's Lacouture, who can't get a shot off as he was partially held off on the play, and Miami breaks back. Now Garceau with a quick clear, but the time has expired here in the first period of play. So the Bears dominate period 1 and lead 4-0. And we'll return to Alfond after this timeout.
In times like these, we are reminded of the need for lasting value. That was understood by FX Marcotte more than 100 years ago. King Coil, America's top-rated bedding, is featured right now during our January store-wide sale. The entire King Coil Bed Quarters gallery is on sale, including the chiropractic indoor styles, famous King Coil quality, starting at $89 twin size each piece during this January store-wide sale at FX Marcotte Furniture, Lincoln Street, Lewiston, pride of LA homes since 1888.
Coming to the line, champion for 89, Susan Elias.
I had a real bona fide asthma attack in one of my races over in France. My throat tightened, my lungs tightened, my chest tightened, and I felt distraught, and the doctor was very casual about the whole thing. Oh, you just have exercise-induced asthma. What we're going to do is have you breathe into this machine called a spirometer, and then we're going to give you a little medicine in the form of an inhaler, and then we're going to test your lung volume to see if you opened up. And he was so calm about the whole thing that I calmed down too. So if you don't really feel like going to the doctor, go anyway, because once you get treatment, it's going to feel so good to get a full lungful of air. It's so simple and so treatable. It would be a tragedy to set your limits lower than your potential. So I say, go for it.
Take a lesson from Susan Elias. Don't let asthma hold you back.
Back here at the Alfond Arena, 20 minutes on the books. The Black Bears currently the owners of a 4-0 lead over the Miami Redskins. I'm joined here between periods by outstanding freshman from Miami, Enrico Blasi. And Enrico, a great game for you last night with the hat trick. Is that your best game as a collegian so far?
So far, I have to say that yesterday everything was going right for me, and I try not to do anything different but work hard every game, and yesterday everything was bouncing my way, so it was nice to see.
Maine give you a lot of room down low. Is that maybe the result of those goals?
Not really. Maine's a really good hockey team, and they like to pressure all over the ice. And as I said, I just got a few bounces going my way, and luckily I capitalized on them.
Yeah. Now talk about your adjustment to the college game coming in. Is it about what you expected? Was the speed or anything any different?
at first, the speed is obviously a factor, but after a month and a half of playing against Michigan State, Lake Superior, and now Maine, you kind of adjust to it, and it's not a factor anymore.
And then talk about Maine. You've now played against them for 80 minutes. How do they stack up to some of the good power teams in the CCHA, like Lake Superior and Michigan and Michigan State?
Well, they're right up there. They're a really balanced team. They got a lot of depth, and they work hard all the time, and they're a very good skating team. And you just have to keep on them and try to frustrate them. But you know.
Talk about George Gwozdecki, your coach. This is in his second year. You came into the Miami program knowing that it was kind of still rebuilding. Was he a major reason why you decided to come to Miami?
Definitely. Coach Gwozdecki is a real first-class guy. He knows how to get across to his players, and he's a really good teacher. And that was the main reason why I chose Miami for school and to play hockey.
Yeah. Now, you're one of 12 freshmen, and as I said, you guys are kind of rebuilding. Do you think that that's a good core of guys that you have there to rebuild Miami and maybe kind of move up in the CCHA echelon?
I think so. The 12 freshmen that we have this year have a real good attitude. We seem to be working hard every day, and we try not to let the losses bother us, and try to build on it and keep working hard. And as long as we stay together and have a good attitude, I think the Miami program will turn around.
Okay, Enrico, thanks for joining us between periods. Right now, the Black Bears currently lead Enrico Blasi and the Miami Redskins 4-0 after 20 minutes. We'll be right back.
So, did you bring the Coca-Cola Classic? Billy was supposed to. Not me!
Michael!
Michael! Billy forgot the Coca-Cola Classic! Coming right up!
Can't beat it! Feeling you got, yes! From a Coca-Cola Classic!
That's my Michael!
Can't beat the real thing!
Ski close, ski more. Ski Lost Valley to maximize your ski season. Just 5 minutes from downtown Lewiston, Auburn, a short ride from Portland and Augusta. Up to 15 hours of continuous skiing per day with 10 possible ticket combinations. Day tickets good until 6, night skiing until 11. Modern grooming and snowmaking for optimum conditions. And Lost Valley's hospitable base lodge will make you feel right at home. So ski close to home and ski more at Lost Valley, Auburn.
Perry Mason is on the case of the ruthless reporter tonight. A Perry Mason premiere in its entirety tonight after UMaine hockey only on 6 Alive.
Back here at the Alfond Arena after a period, Maine looking for the sweep of Miami, and right now they're in good shape, leading 4-0. Well, as you may have seen here on the stations of the Maine broadcasting system yesterday, the Maine Black Bear basketball team got off to a good start in the North Atlantic Conference, routing New Hampshire in yesterday's match at the Bangor Auditorium, 85-64. Now, this was a close game through the first half, but Maine would go on a run in the second. Here, good defense creates this basket. Francois Bouchard, look at that jam. He gets it down there. Now Rudy Keeling says, hey, that's what we are looking for. So off the block of this shot, they turn it into a fast transition basket. Marty Higgins to Derek Hodge, and finishing it off with the lay-in is Deonte Hersey. UNH coach Jim Boylan could only look on in dismay as his team struggled with Maine in the second half. Later, Kevin Terrell, the miss from outside, but Derek Hodge will pop in the rebound. He led the Maine attack with 20 points. The Maine big men had good success underneath as well. Here's Curtis Robertson muscling in a pair. Maine goes to 1-0 in the NAC, 5-7 on the year with an 85-64 win over New Hampshire. Well, the Maine women made it a sweep for Maine basketball teams yesterday over New Hampshire foes. Yesterday, they beat their New Hampshire counterparts in Durham, 76-55. This was their first North Atlantic Conference game as well. Now, Rachel Bouchard led the way as always, 2 points early. The Lady Black Bears broke this game open with a 30-5 run in the first half, including 8 straight from Julie Bradstreet, who nails the three-pointer here. She finished with 15. Later, Carrie Goodhue goes baseline. Her shot's blocked, but she kicks it out to Jess Carpenter, who sizes it up, takes the shot, and knocks down 2. Maine led 45-21 at the half despite this basket here and kept UNH off balance with some good defense. Second half, Bouchard, she gets double teamed, so she gets to Tracy Fournette, the bucket and the foul. Maine wins 76-55 over New Hampshire.
We wanted to come out and set the tempo of the game, and I told the girls exactly what I want them to do, and they came out and did exactly. I thought we had a really good game plan. We knew all of their offenses, and we beat them to the spots. I think that was the difference.
Last night's Maine-Miami game was nothing if not a game for the Maine players to pad their stats. Maine beat the Redskins 11-4. Now, Maine got on the board quickly. Patrice Tardif makes the steal, bears in and converts the backhander through the 5-hole. Tardif had 2 goals on the night. He also created some. Now, here on this play, he'll be broken up, but Justin Tomberlin finds the loose puck and the far post for a 2-0 Maine lead. The big man for Miami was our interview guest, Enrico Blasi. Off the scramble here, he will convert the backhander. That was the first goal of a hat trick for him, but not to be outdone, Brian Downey rams it home off the faceoff. He had the hat trick as well. It was 3-1 Maine after a period. Both Miami goalies played and both were shelled. Second period, Keith Carney finds Randy Olson for the bad angle slapper. Sean Walsh, though, looking on, seemingly unimpressed. Jean-Yves Roy broke out of a mini goal scoring slump. He will convert here on this Carney pass. Maine had 5 goals in the second period on their way to an 11-4 rout of the Redskins. Now, Maine gets back into Hockey East action next weekend against Northeastern. Here's a look at how the Hockey East is shaping up so far. Currently, Boston University and Boston College are tied for first place in Hockey East. BU and New Hampshire tied last night, while Boston College beat Merrimack 3-2. New Hampshire 4-3-1, and Maine in the 4th spot, tied with Merrimack. Providence, Lowell, and Northeastern all in that as well. And right now, the Albany Times-Union poll has Maine ranked 7th behind Hockey East foes Boston College, who is in 2nd position, and Boston University, who is in the 6th position. When we come back, Scott and Dale will look over some of the highlights of that first period. Right now, Maine currently leading Miami 4-0.
This is us, John and Carol Smoot, before Nutrisystem.
And this is us now. Together we lost 150 pounds.
And we feel terrific. After we'd lost the weight, we went to a reunion with some friends of mine from high school, and they were so excited by how both of us looked.
As a matter of fact, at the reunion, they voted her most changed.
Yes, they did.
For the better.
Lose all the weight you can. Pay for only 10 pounds. Call the center nearest you for details.
Make your vacation dreams come to life at the Samoset Resort in Rockport, Maine, with the Spend a Night in the 90s $99 getaway package. Enjoy a luxurious room with a view overlooking the resort, plus a sumptuous dinner for 2 at Marcel's Restaurant. You can take advantage of the Samoset's many amenities, or simply relax and unwind with the family. Children 16 and under stay free in their parents' room. Call the Samoset Resort at 594-2511 for their Spend a Night in the 90s package, available now until Valentine's Day.
You know them so well. The tireless teacher who constantly goes above and beyond. The social worker you counted on. The neighbor who makes volunteering a career. All the kind of people we at 6 Alive would like to hear about as we search for nominees for our 1991 Jefferson Awards for Distinguished Community Service. It's easy to do. Just give us a call at 828-6666 and we'll forward this handy application form and information packet. Call today. Do your part to prove that caring matters in the 90s more than ever before.
This is a News Center special report.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Bill Connor. Federal regulators have taken over the Bank of New England. That means that the Maine National Bank, headquartered in Portland, is now under the control of the federal government. The announcement came tonight in Washington. The government says the banks that are controlled by the Bank of New England are being propped up with $750 million in government money, The Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation says the government is now negotiating to sell the banks, one of which, once again, is Maine National. Now, all offices of Maine National will be open for business as usual tomorrow, and all services, such as automated teller machines, are still being operated uninterrupted, and also all deposits with the bank are insured, are completely insured. Once again, the Bank of New England, the parent company of Maine National Bank, has been taken over by the federal government, but that will cause no stopping of any of the services that are presently being offered by Maine National Bank. It is still pretty much business as usual. This is a breaking story. We'll bring you more information as it becomes available to us. For now, I'm Bill Connor.
This has been a News Center special report. Stay with News Center for updates. We return now to regular programming.
Back at Alfond Arena after one period of play, the Black Bears from Maine have a lead of 4-0 over the Redskins from Miami of Ohio. And one of the 4 goals in that first period by Maine's sophomore player, Kent Solfi. He made it 2-0, and here it is.
Well, Kent shows why he's such a valuable player to the U.S. hockey program and the Maine Black Bears. Comes in on the initial play and gets stopped and says, hey, I'm not going to go by this net. I think I'll come back. And great second effort try by the Redskin goaltender, and Kent just puts it away.
3 chances by the Bears, and Solfi gets it through and gets his 3rd goal of the year. He was selected to that junior team, then had to come back home because of an injury. By the way, that junior team finished 4-2-1 on the tournament. That's the best finish ever by a U.S. junior national team. Mike Dunham was one of the players, as was Chris Imes, and we will talk to Mr. Imes and Dunham at the end of the second period of play. All right, play is underway, and an early icing call on the Redskins as we begin period number 2. Period 1 dominated by the Black Bears, and a look at the stat sheet tells you that. First of all, the Bears outshot the Redskins 14-5, and they out-attempted the Redskins 22-10. Their arms are going to be tired from swinging on goal, huh?
Well, the same old story with the Maine forwards. They can really put the puck in the net, and any team that comes into the Alfont or plays the Black Bears has to be concerned with that.
Now it's Olsen against Blasi on the draw, won by Maine. In front, Olsen has 2 whacks at it and can't get it by Shumustra. Oh, he was right in goal on the crease and had a couple of whacks at it. Olsen almost came up big there. Now against the boards, it's pinned there, and
Patrice Tardif, who will be
another penalty,
taking a 2-minute break there for hitting from behind. Mr. Bunyan, who gets a little grief when he comes up to the Alfond. Randy Olsen with a great opportunity here.
There's 1, there's 2.
He'll be thinking about that one this evening.
Look at him shake his head, huh? I could have had my 8th goal of the year. I had 2 whacks at it, and I couldn't get it done.
There'll be more chances.
Sure, and he'll get it too. He'll get the 8th and a few more too. Meanwhile, Pat Tardif in the box for the Bears. The freshman from Quebec will sit out 2 minutes from hitting from behind was the call, and the Redskins have a power play. They had 1 power play opportunity in the first period and did not convert in anything, obviously. The Bears, meanwhile, 2 for 2 on the power play in the first period. All right, the Redskins crank it up. This is Blasi moving in. He's got Bergeron with him, trying to center the pass. Bergeron is waiting there for the pass. Instead, he goes back to the wing. Now it's Eigner. Ahead, it'll come to Van der Reit, and he'll drive it around the dasher. Blasi is there. Back to Van der Reit on the wing. Carney breaks that one up smartly, and now Robitaille clears the zone. Pellerin breaks in. He's got a 2-on-1 break with Carney. He'll hold, shoot, stopped by Shumustra, and he'll hold on. Oh, almost a shorthanded goal there for the Bears.
Well, Martin Robitaille gets the puck right in the main zone, and instead of just icing it, he slows down, takes a look, anticipates, and makes a nice board pass to Scott Pellerin, who just comes down and takes a nice hard drive on net. Redskins decide to hold on, and hoping the rebound would pop off to Keith Carney.
Here's a piece of trivia for you. Scott Pellerin's grandfather's name is on the Stanley Cup. How about that? Back in the 1930s, Scott's grandfather played for the Montreal Maroons.
You think Scott has any ideas about that?
He'd love to add his name to that in a few years' time.
I think the New Jersey Devils would like that.
Yeah. Join Eric Weinrich perhaps down there. Now Brown behind his net. The Redskins on the power play, remember. Snow goes back behind the net and decides, I'll just hang on to this baby and we'll call for another faceoff. Sean Walsh, 160 career wins now, going against his buddy, George Gwizdecki.
He was in Sean's wedding party.
That's right, he was an usher, yeah.
Very good friends from the Michigan State days.
Face off, goes to the corner. Link takes a whack at it and winds up in the balcony, or no, I guess up into the crowd. Thought it went to the balcony, but
Tony thought he was in the sand trap.
That's right.
Gave it a little whack, went upstairs.
9-iron shot that got the play out of danger anyway, out of harm's way. Jim Montgomery, he can score him shorthanded on the power play, you name it. He can do it. He's got 13 goals this year already. Now Bobby Marshall looks to tee it up, decides to pass over to Luik. His shot never reaches Snow as it's blocked down in front. Now back all the way down the ice it'll go. Shulmusker will play it to Marshall, and he's broken up on the play by Roy, who's doing a good job forechecking. 20 seconds left on the Miami power play. Miami of Ohio, of course, best known for football, called the cradle of coaches because of all the great football coaches who at one time coached there. But now Maine breaks in. Here's Roy. He's in alone and scores!
There we have an example of all the Redskins staying out there a little too long on the power play, trying to get an opportunity, and they were all exhausted. Jimmy Montgomery, the puck bounces right on his stick at the red line and just say, Jean-Yves, take her for a ride, and that's what he did.
Look at him stick handle here, too, on the open. What does Shulmusker do? I mean, you take your best shot at it.
He's just hoping to get some help from his players, and that just never happens. Jean-Yves just pulls it back and slides it by him. Here we have a little bit better angle at it. Not much Shulmusker could do on that one.
That's his second goal of the night. He's got 18 for the game. The only thing that Jean-Yves is probably saying at some point is that I wish I could have done that same thing out in Michigan late in the game in the Great Lakes Invitational Tournament. It was a very similar play. Maybe he learned from that shot.
Well, you know, Sean really wants him to get back on track for the next couple months here, finishing up Hockey East action. They need to get some wins. And for them to get some wins, Jean-Yves, you know, sure doesn't hurt having him flying around.
But he's got to be frustrated, I'm sure, at times. He's such a high-powered scorer, and he's the one guy that the opposition always wants to stop. Every night out, there's always someone saying, we got to stop Roy, we got to stop Roy. That's got to be a lot of pressure, a lot of frustration at times for him.
Well, I think he can handle it. He's mentally tough enough to handle it. He's just going to have to get used to that and improve his game to be able to play around that.
Puck shot up and winds on the Maine bench, and Roy seems to be, if he was in a scoring drought, and I'm not sure that he was necessarily, he certainly has come out of it this weekend.
Well, if anything, with the offense they've had so far tonight, you know, opposing teams will say, hey, maybe we can stop Jean-Yves and Jimmy Montgomery, but they're going to have to answer to other players also. Likes of Randy Olson and Patrice Tardif.
John Baker with it for Miami, pinned against the boards by Roy. Here's Olsen in front, loses the handle momentarily, and the Redskins break back. Tom Holdeman has got Von Lathan with him, along with Holdeman, and the play is called offside as Savage moved in a little too soon. The other thing I would say about Roy's play, it's very clear that Randy Olsen and Tardif are playing very, very well along with him. That line seemed to be clicking nicely. And Shulmusker takes a little break, and a well-deserved. He's seen a lot of rubber tonight.
Well, Randy Olsen can definitely put the puck in the net. It was last year in junior year, he had 150 points, and he had a good year last year, and Patrice Tardif has proved himself already this year. So, hey, everyone knows that Maine's power is in their forwards and their goaltenders. If they did have any bit of difficulty, if I can use that, is in the defense, and it's just hard to find a flaw in this Maine team.
Now the Redskins drive it in, and long enough to make a line change. Carney is on it quickly as the Bears tried to catch him on that line change, but couldn't do it. Miami drives it back in. Now it's Maine's line of Lacouture, Texera, and Fenton out there. The back on it is Jan Luik for Miami, and he'll circle the net and get things started. Ahead to Scott Mazie, trying to go around the Maine defenseman, Straub, but Brian will not let him do it. House, Mazie, and Kelly out there, but Pellerin breaks in for Maine. Here he comes. His shot goes wide. Oh, boy, Luik just had a little bit of a hold on him, and Pellerin pulled the trigger, but wide. Now Link's shot goes wide of Shamostra, kept in by Robitaille as he'll work around the boards. Behind the net, he'll center it, but no one is there. Kelly leaves it now for House. Ken House trying to go around Link. He'll take him to the boards. He'll take over the puck. Nice play, Tony Link. Now, Sulfy. Robitaille doesn't see the pass, so he might have broken in alone. Here's Sulfy. He's got the puck now. Look at that move, and he scores! Oh, my!
Ken Sulfy is back in the action. Tony Link just drills one up the boards looking for Martin Robitaille, and Martin didn't even see the puck, and the next thing you know, it's on Kent's stick, and he just goes in and Beachmister right on the ice.
Wow, what a move.
We're going to have a great shot of it here. Just brings it back, and Redskins defenseman just couldn't get a handle on him.
And for Sulfy, it's his second goal of the night. Give him 4 for the year. And we've got a goalie change for the Redskins. As
Lee Cannon.
Yeah, the junior. There's Shamostra. He says, okay, I throw up the white flag. I've seen enough.
He's going to be seeing rubber in his sleep tonight.
It's 6-0 Maine, and a junior, Lee Cannon, who wears number 33, is in goal now for Miami. He started last night's game. I don't recall for sure. I think he gave up the first 7 or 8 goals last night before Shamostra relieved him. The Bears with a commanding 6-0 lead. They've had some beautiful goals tonight, and Robitaille and Downey break in again. Downey tried to center the pass, couldn't quite do it. To the corner he goes. Trent Eigner takes him there. Now Tomlin tries to get it, but the Redskins will clear the zone. Some very pretty passing, some very pretty scores tonight. You have scores, and then you have pretty scores, and the Bears have had some of those tonight. Looking for win number 17 on the year, and they're well on their way. Olsen with Tomlin. Back to Downey. His shot is just wide. Oh, he ripped off a wrister there. Now Mazie gets it enough to clear the zone. At center ice, Carney moves in to keep the pressure on. Now Montgomery turns. Tardif is there. Look at him move in. His shot stopped by Cannon. Rebound by Carney never reaches him, as Tardif made another pretty move and almost had a goal. Now Straub with Olsen. He'll get in the zone, move around a man. Roy is in the corner now with the puck. Continues to play. Shot tipped high in the air, and Cannon will glove it.
Lee Cannon just grabs that puck and hangs on to it. Try to regain the whole team's composure a little bit.
We've got a timeout as the Bears are in command, and we'll be back.
I hear you looking. We're thinking about it. We're listening. You're in.
Coca-Cola Classic. You can't beat the real thing.
All right, back at Alfond Arena, I'm Dale Duff, along with former Maine and AHL defenseman Scott Smith, as you look at Lee Cannon in relief of Richard Shamostra. And the Redskins have taken a timeout, and they're going to use this timeout to give Cannon a little warm-up.
Well, you know, it'd be nice to see a little rubber from some of his own players, because I think he knows he's going to be seeing quite a bit from Maine for the rest of this game.
He's a junior from Holland, New York. And George Gwizdecki is saying, come on, guys. We've got to settle in and play some defense here. And
well, he had a game plan coming into the game, and he really wanted his guys to concentrate in the defensive zone. And so far tonight, the defensemen haven't been clearing out the front of the net, and they've also been letting the Maine forwards just cruise through the front of the net, giving their goaltender all kinds of havoc. And the defensemen have to hold those guys out, try to stop the Maine players from coming into the slot area. You see a once in a while smile from Sean Walsh.
A little smile there, and it's 6-0, and the Bears won last night 11-4. The 11 goals last night, the most by the Bears this season. And if you wondered about any kind of letdown, it was not going to happen on this night. All right, to the corner they go, and the Bears keep that pressure on, already leading 6-0. Back breaks Rohr. He's got Ouimet and Vanderwijk with him, but Straub is on it first for Maine. Rob Vanderwijk. Terry Ouimet drives it in. Straub goes back. Has a miscommunication briefly there with Snow. And on it is Rohr behind the net. Working hard is Olsen, or Pellerin, that is. No, Olsen. Now it's Ouimet. Behind the net, the puck is loose. There's a shot on, stopped by Snow as Ouimet got off a backhander. Tardif will clear it out for Maine. Now here comes Randy Olsen. He's got Carney and Roy, and it's offside.
I think that was the first shot on net for the Redskins.
You're right.
On Garth Snow.
They had 5 in the first period. The clock says now 6 shots, 19-6. The shots on goal so far in this game.
After the shellacking they took last night, 11-4, and here we're 7 minutes into the second period, and they're down 6-0. Very difficult to stay mentally positive for the Redskins, and vice versa for Maine. They're just going to keep building off that.
Now Fenton, the South Portland native, moves in, tries to get a shot off. There's a scrum in front, and finally it's knocked away. Link tries to keep it in, but Matt Martin, the freshman who is over his bout with mononucleosis, drives it in behind the net. On it, though, is the Redskins, and they clear it to neutral ice. Now Holdeman tries to get to it, but can't. Von Lathan can't, and now Rodman does. Rene Von Lathan for the Redskins as it goes back into the main zone. On it now is Andy Rodman. Now Bobby Marshall. With some skating room at center ice, he'll drive it in the corner, and Miami changes up. Snow stick handles nicely, but it jumps over the stick of Fenton. On it is Sulfly, but will it be icing? No, they wave it off. Now Sulfly fighting hard in the corner, but it's Rodman. Out he'll come. Drives it in. Robitaille will break up the play. And finally, it's knocked in by John Baker. Oh, Murphy takes a hit behind the net. Now Bergeron in front, ridden out of there by Scott Pellerin. He breaks out with Sulfy. Pellerin loses the puck momentarily, kept in the zone, but now it's cleared. Back comes Miami. This is Savage trying to go around Imes, and Chris Imes will not let him do it. Savage gets up, gives Imes a whack, but Maine takes over. Robitaille, he's got Pellerin, crisscrosses with Tomberlin, tries to get it back in front, but the pass hits the skate of a defenseman. Savage tips it out over the line, and Carney has it for Maine. We've played 9 minutes here in the second period. The Bears lead 6-0. In breaks Tomberlin and Carney. Now Tomberlin with a shot on, sticked away by Cannon. Now Robitaille with Pellerin. Tomberlin's camped in front. The wraparound shot never really reaches the net. Pellerin is knocked down, and the Redskins ride it out of there. Here comes Kelly. Matt Kelly stood up on the line by Straub and won't let him beyond that point. Straub has played a solid game tonight. He had 3 assists last night. Brian Straub now Downey moving in. He takes a shot stopped by Cannon as that was labeled for the bottom left-hand corner. Carney now with that patented wraparound move with control of the puck to Montgomery. bounces in the air, and the Miami Redskins clear it out of there. Ken House wants to connect with Maisie, but can't do it. He'll go to the corner. The puck jumps in front, but Snow plays that easily. Fans on the shot, loses his stick. Gar Snow playing without a stick right now. Now, and he gets the stick from Straub. There's a shot on that goes wide. Straub doesn't have a stick as he gave it to Snow, and now they give it back to each other as Straub picked up his stick. In front, there's a maze of players just knocked down by Marshall at the point, and he'll keep it in. This is the best flurry by the Redskins in a long time. Rodman, shot on, never really reached the net. Marshall one-times it from the point, knocked down in front, and the Bears will clear. Ouimet with it for the Redskins, and he'll flip it in the zone. And that was a pretty good flurry by Miami, and a few anxious moments for Snow playing without a stick. Now Olsen for the Bears. Good pass along the boards. It'll go to Tardif. Hill wants to work in front. There's Roy. Backhander goes wide. On it now is Fenton. Now it's in front. Tardif. His shot knocked down. And there's a shot by Olsen. And the Maine players had their sticks raised. They had it. They thought they had it in there, but Cannon had it stopped. Again, the Maine players just go to the front of the net and they don't get knocked down. You're gonna get some garbage goals in there, standing around. You see the score, 6-0 Maine. There's a break in the action.
Rollins Furniture of Hollowell, South Portland, Maine, and Northampton, New Hampshire would like to invite you to our annual clearance sale. Shop our 3 showrooms of quality furniture and accessories and save 25 to 50%. Come and save on famous brand names like Moosehead, Hardin, Serta, C.R. Lane, and much, much more. Shop early for best selection as many one-of-a-kind items are 50% off. Remember, it pays to find Rollins for quality, service, and value. Now open Sundays from noon to 5 for your shopping convenience.
Instead, and this could be real dangerous. Gar's showing great concentration. It's very difficult for a goaltender to maintain his concentration when he hasn't got a lot of action. Then right back, Maine comes back. Brian Downey with a great opportunity. Cannon comes out. Doesn't really control the rebound. Defenseman there to help him out. Redskins break out. It's Bergeron dumping it in around the dasher. Snow will play that one and leave it for Matt Martin. From Connecticut, the freshman. Fenton can't get control of the puck. Lacouture tries the same thing, but finally Martin, nope, doesn't clear the zone. Good play by Baker to keep it in for Miami. And now Tony Link. Penalty coming up on Maine. On Miami, I beg your pardon. As soon as they touch up, the Bears will go on the power play. And it'll happen right here. Well, number 24, Chris Bergeron, is going to be off from hitting behind or charging. See what Mr. Bunyan calls. And George Gwizdecki over there is going to say just what we needed. Down 6-0 with a couple of power play goals, and here it is. Looks like it's going to be a hitting from behind. Tony Link doesn't really see him coming, and wham. That'll get you into the game if you're not in it by now. Chris Bergeron is from Ontario. He's a sophomore. As mentioned before in the broadcast, the Miami team is playing here tonight with 12 freshman players. A very young team in a rebuilding mode. Out there with Tomberlin and Tardif, Carney and Pellerin. That's the powerful power play for Maine. Pellerin's shot knocked down in front along the blue line with Carney. He'll one-time it wide of Cannon. Carney along to Olsen. He'll let it go behind the net where Tomberlin and now Tardif has it. Back to Pellerin. Tardif. In it'll go. Tomberlin passes across to Carney. He'll leave it in for Olsen. Around the dasher, behind the net, Tomberlin. Now wants to work a play, gets it back to Tardif. Carefully, they work it in front. Tomberlin. Carney fans on the shot. He had an open side, and it jumped over the stick. Now it's Randy Olsen continues to work hard. Joe Cook is doing what he can to pin a man against the board, but Olsen keeps it free. Back it'll come to Pellerin. He'll tee it up in front.
knocks it wide of the net, goes to the corner, and the Redskins clear it out. Now Rohr comes back to relieve some of that pressure, and they'll change up their penalty-killing unit. Maine will change up some players on the power play. Downey is out there along with Roy now. In breaks Pellerin. Oh, what a shot! Wow, what a heavy shot! And Lee Cannon feels like he just took a hit from a cannon, and he did, off the stick of Pellerin.
Well, Scotty just comes down the middle and just lets a blast go and gets Mr. Cannon into the game with a shot off the melon.
Wow.
Why anyone would want to play goal?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Oh, boy, I'll tell you what, the crowd here at Alphon gives Mr. Cannon a little applause for getting up and deciding to stay in the game. Scott Pellerin with a wicked slap shot. Now the power play remains for the Bears, and it's Imes teeing it up. It's deflected wide in front, and the Redskins clear the zone, and 20 seconds remain on the penalty to Chris Bergeron of Miami.
You know, it's amazing you think about goaltenders in the past not wearing helmets.
I know. Now Roy in front, tipped there by Montgomery. It went over the net. It's underneath and free now by Robitaille. Tried to get it back to Roy, played by Downey. Now Robitaille and Imes. The penalty is over. One timed in front, stopped by Cannon. And he's got it again.
Brian Downey takes a nice quick shot right on Cannon, and he comes up with a nice glove save. Says, take that.
I'll tell you what, he's got a great name for a player, though, huh? Cannon. Lee Cannon.
See, just a nice one-time blast from Brian Downey, and Cannon just says, hey, that one's not going in.
But the Bears have scored 6 times tonight. 2 goals by Roy, 2 goals by Sulfai, add in 1 each by Downey and Lacouture, and the Bears are well on their way to the 17th win of the year. On it is Joe Cook for Miami. He'll break to center ice, but can't get around Tony Link. Now Jan Luik, number 28, from Scarborough, Ontario, that is. Redskins just doing all they can to get the puck to the neutral zone. Matt Martin takes over. Try to pass off the boards, and the puck winds up on the main bench, where Dick Young, the trainer, almost made the catch.
Matt Martin battling mono. He's just coming off it. Had a real rough break there with mono.
And he was also a candidate to make that junior national team before he came down with mono.
He's another one of the little defensemen Sean went out and got, 6'4", 210.
Yeah. A lot of people think he reminds him of a Bob Beers type. I think that's a good analogy, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Now Chris Imes and Olsen and Roy move it in the zone momentarily, but John Baker rides it out of there for the Redskins. We've got just over 5 minutes left in this second period of play. The Bears in their last non-Hockey East game of the regular season. And they're finishing out that part of the season very nicely. Roy takes 2 men now to the boards, and he continues to keep on going. Tardif joins in the fray, as does Olsen, but the Redskins skated out of there. Enrico Blasi ahead to Eigner. Back it'll come, but Olsen is there to intercept. Now Blasi, Imes pins him against the boards, and Dan Murphy takes over. Now the Bears pinned in momentarily in their own zone. Vander Wright's shot on, stopped. Ouimet's shot never reaches the net, and the Bears break out. Roy and Tardif move in, and Sean Wall says, hold up, and let's make some line changes. So the Redskins take over. Ouimet wants to move up ice. Carney stops him, and Robitaille comes back. He's got Pellerin and Sulfai in front. Score! Kent Sulfai does it again. And here come the hats, because Mr. Sulfi has 3 of them tonight.
Another real smart play. He's got that stick right on the ice in front. So many players carry their sticks off the ice, and Kent just proves them wrong here. Martin Robitaille sees him standing off to the corner and just tries getting it to him and can't. Mr. Cannon didn't have a chance there. Good for Kent. Nice hat trick.
So the Clifton Park, New York native picks up his 3rd goal of the year of the game. He's got 5 for the night.
We see some happy fans along with Mr. Sulfi.
Pellerin gets another assist. Pellerin has 2 assists on the night. Bears continue to put the pressure on. Straub's shot knocked down. Ken House wants to break in. 2 men whacking away at him, and they finally bring him down. Penalty coming up on Maine. That's about the only thing they've done wrong tonight. In front, there's a shot stopped by Snow, and it goes to the corner. Penalty coming up on Maine, and it will come right here as soon as Maine touches.
Brian Schraub's going to take a little break.
And we've got a break in the action with the Bears leading 7-0. We'll return after this.
So, did you bring the Coca-Cola Classic? Billy was supposed to.
Not me.
Michael!
Michael! Billy forgot the Coca-Cola Classic. Coming right up.
Can't be there. Yes! From a Coca-Cola Classic.
That's my Michael.
Can't beat the real thing.
See a good initial rush for Redskins. Keep working hard and try coming back. Brian Straub says, hey, I got to catch this guy or do something. So just gives him a little tug. Not much of a hold, but Mr. Bunyan felt could maybe give the Redskins a power play on that one. I think in a close game, I don't think that would have been called.
And so the Bears will have to fight off this 2-man penalty for 2 minutes. And Sean Walsh sends out Roy, Martin, Downey, and Link.
A little different look. Maine not forcing the Redskins right off. John Eads comes in and does a little banging.
Now Blassie tried to move it in, but that's an icing call on the Redskins, as Blassie never touched that thing. Roy did a nice job to keep him from touching that.
Well, Blassie's hanging at the blue line, and John Eads just holds him up a little bit. And he never touched the puck.
Well, George Gwizdecki has got to be a little frustrated. He's been a national champion as a player for Wisconsin, as an assistant, as a coach at Wisconsin Red River in NAIA.
River Falls.
River Falls, excuse me, in NAIA action, and as an assistant coach at Michigan State. And now he's got his own program, and he has to rebuild.
Well, it's definitely a rebuilding year. As you said, we have all the freshmen in the lineup, but hey, I can remember back when they were rebuilding Maine.
That's right.
I was a part of it.
That's right. And some frustrating years, but look at the end result, and Gwizdecki would like to do that. Now Cook tried to center it to Blassie, but couldn't quite connect, and the Bears will move it to central ice.
I remember a game in Minnesota when Sean's first year that was
16-0, was it? 18-0?
13-0 going into the 3rd period.
Wow.
And let me tell you, don't forget those.
All right, in breaks Vander Wright. He's in alone, moves, shoots, hits the post, and Snow covers up. And Rob Vander Wright says, what do I have to do?
Well, Maine let up a little bit, and Rob Vander Wright says, hey, I'm going to go right in on Garth, and had a nice backhander. Garth came out and played him very well, and just pulled it to his backhand and just slid it in. Had an empty net, hit the post. When things don't go right, they don't go right. Rebound comes right back to Garth, and he hangs on to it. In the end, in fact, he hits the boards.
50 seconds now left on the Miami power play. Luik moves up from his point position. House behind the net. Murphy takes him to the boards. Luik on it. Imes gives him a shove. House sends it around the dasher. on it is number 16, Gary Brown, on the power play, but jumps over the blue line, and Maine will change up on their penalty killers. Just 20 seconds left on this power play opportunity for the Redskins. Now Robitaille forechecking, steals. Pellerin tries to move around, loses control, and Miami comes back. Here comes Scott Mazie, moving to the corner. Murphy takes him there. Brown on the puck. Wants to make a play. Good defense by Maine. In the corner, and now back to Marshall, who will send it on, but Robitaille makes sure it never reaches Snow. Now it's moved ahead by the Bears. Straub has got Pellerin 2-on-2 for the moment. He'll take a shot, stop, and a score! Wait a minute, no goal. No goal, penalty coming up on Maine.
Well, once Sean just tells the forwards, go right to the net. We've seen Ken Sulfide do it all night, and that time Scott Pellerin takes the initial shot and goes right to the net. Cannon's out of the net. Scotty bangs him. Sean goes, come on. That was a tough call. Scott Pellerin going off for interference, hit Joe Cannon, and then Brian Straub sees the empty net, puts it in.
But it will not count, and also Maine gets the penalty. Here it is.
You know, this is an accident. Could have been an accident. You really couldn't stop. He had a full head of steam going, and
Bobby Marshall helped push him in, I think. But it is a penalty, and it'll go against Pellerin, who has been in the box before. In fact, Scott is number 4 already on the all-time penalty minutes list. But he is a great hard-nosed player, isn't he? And scores some points, has picked up some penalties. He's one of your blue-collar players. And
well, when you play hard every night, you're going to get some penalties.
Yes. And so the Bears will have another penalty to kill off. That's an offside play by Miami. And there's Brian Straub from Bozeman, Montana. Played most of his hockey life, though, in New Jersey.
You know, you got to like a guy like Mr. Straub. He just comes out and works hard every night, and he's a blue-collar man, computer science major, and good size, good hands. Doesn't try to do anything too flashy, just plays defense.
Now Cook keeps it in the zone for the Redskins. Remember, they're on the power play. Vanderwright takes a black bear to the boards. It is Straub, in fact. Down goes a Miami player, Bergeron, and back breaks Montgomery. Look at that speed burst he puts on. Decides to put on the brakes and make a move. Remember, the Bears are shorthanded. Roy continues to work in front. Bergeron rides him out. Now, back comes Enrico Blasi. Trying to go around Carney. He stands him up. And Straub clears the play. Classic defense by the Blue Liners there. Both teams make wholesale changes. We're halfway through the penalty, and time is winding down here in the second period. And so, at the end of 2 periods, Sean Walsh and his Maine Black Bears take a commanding 7-0 lead over Miami, well on their way to their 17th win. But we've got another 20 minutes to go. And when we come back, Dave Allers will be talking to a couple of the guys from the Black Bears who were at the World Junior Games, and we'll talk to them after this timeout.
We're thinking about it. We're listening. You're in.
Coca-Cola Classic. You can't beat the real thing.
Watching Carl Smith run, you would never know he suffers from asthma. He recalls that first scary attack when he was 13.
Playing a basketball game, and I was short of breath, and I was going like that, and I came off the sideline, and I just said, "Coach, I can't catch my breath, can't catch my breath." And my mom finally took me to a doctor, and found out I had asthma.
Today, Carl's asthma is treated with medicine, and he is treating the spirit of others as a spokesman for the Lung Association. His message to kids with asthma is clear: Know your limitations, but set your sights on the future.
I don't like people putting limitations on me, and I don't like the asthma putting limitations on me. I like to be the judge of my limitations and everything. But you just got to keep it under control, and you take your medicine when you have to, and you'll be in control of it.
If you think your child might have asthma, call the Lung Association at 1-800-462-LUNG. Take a lesson from Carl Smith. Don't let asthma hold you back.
Back at the Alfond Arena, the end of 2 periods. The Black Bears currently leading Miami by the score of 7-0. Today, right now, I'm joined by Chris Imes, a Maine freshman defenseman who's just returned from the U.S. Junior Championship out there in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Chris, first of all, talk about the step up in competition for you playing international teams as opposed to college teams. What was it like?
It's a faster game, and Czechoslovakia and the Russians, all the European teams, they spread the game out so much. They'll bring it all the way back, and they'll regroup all the time. And you got to watch. In international hockey, you have to watch your guy more carefully. Against Canada, it was more of a hitting game in just North American style.
Yeah. Now, how was that for you to be playing a European style one night and say a North American style the other night? Say, whereas you're in college and you're playing a North American style pretty much exclusively.
Well, just it wasn't much difference for me except for not the defense, but the forwards had against Russia and against Czechoslovakia and all the European teams, we just played kind of a passive forecheck, and we'd have 2 guys right up on the blue line and the red line and let them come at us, and we tried to make them dump it in and get it back out. Whereas against Canada, which was the only other North American team there, we just played good old North American hockey.
Yeah. Who was the toughest team you faced in that tournament?
Gee, I thought Czechoslovakia and Canada and Russia were all pretty even. They all had good squads, yeah.
Was it a case of a lot of fast players? Is that what it was?
No, I think it's probably a little bit slower than here in the college level against a good team like BC or BU. But they're more skilled, better puck handlers. Everybody can see the ice, make unbelievable passes that you'd never suspect. And the European teams are so good with their feet, I guess, because they play soccer or whatnot when they're little. They can do crazy things with their feet, catch the puck in their skates and all that.
Now, talk about some of the coaching that you had out there. Did you learn a lot? Did you learn a lot of different things, you think?
Yeah, I did. Just it was a brand new ball of wax. The totally different style of hockey.
Yeah. Now, was it tough for you being away, not being able to play with your Maine teammates? Was your heart kind of back here in Orono?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I kept track of the scores, and Coach faxed all the scores and Larry Mahoney's articles back to our hotel room. And then my mom and dad and Mike Dunham's parents went over to Randy Olson's parents, and they watched the Michigan State game on satellite there, and which wasn't too far away from where we're at in Saskatoon.
Yeah. So overall, what was your impression of that tournament? A good time had by all?
Yeah, I guess you could say so.
Yeah, okay. Chris Imes, right now he calls Birchdale, Minnesota home. Born and spent 2 years of his life in Norway, Maine. And he and the Black Bears currently leading Miami by a score of 7-0. We're going to the break. We'll be back with more intermission guests right after this.
Get the look for less, 20 to 40% less during the sale at Young's. 20 to 40% off Henriton, Knob Creek, and James River. 20 to 40% off all furnishings at Young's. Your look, the right look, 20 to 40% off during the sale at Young's.
Young's, we've got the look.
There's still meaning in the magic of Christmas, in the state where the Christmas trees grow, where neighbors still drop by with cookies, breads, and pies, and warm themselves beside the kitchen stove. It's the spirit of sharing, giving and caring, hanging wreaths upon the neighbor's door. That's the spirit of Maine
after 2 periods of play. The Black Bears currently pitching the shutout, 7-0 over the Miami Redskins. I'm joined here between the second and third period by Jason Weinrich, Maine freshman defenseman. Jason, of course, this is kind of not really a homecoming for you, but you're sort of continuing the legacy of your brother. Now, you played at North Yarmouth Academy and then decided to pass up your senior year there to go to the Springfield Olympics. What was the reason for that decision?
I just thought because I was coming to Maine, I needed to maybe get play against some better competition. And the Olympics definitely play a great schedule, and that was really what I was looking for. Maybe play against some kids that had better speed, and you know, just play against kids that are always as good as you or better than you. So just a great way to improve, I think.
Yeah. Certainly the competition between Maine high school hockey and the hockey you'd see there in the New England Junior Hockey League was different. What were some of the differences that you saw going from that league here into the colleges?
I think you know, when I first came here, I was overwhelmed with the speed of everything, and you know, you definitely got to make quicker decisions, and because of the speed, and you got to be real intense every game because every team's so strong in the league.
Yeah. Any team that you've played against so far that's impressed you, that was maybe one of your toughest foes so far?
I think BU is you know, really quick. They had great forwards and great team depth, but you know, as I said, a lot of the teams, BC has great forwards, and you know, you just got to clamp down defensively against all those great teams and try to shut them out.
Yeah. Now, you've played in 13 games this year. Probably not as many as you'd like. Is that kind of tough for you, not playing in every game?
I know, as long as the team's doing well, and you know, so far we got off to a great start, and you know, I just got to keep working hard in practice, and that's a great place to improve. So hopefully I can just keep doing my job in practice, and things will work out all right.
Yeah. Now, of course, you're part of a big hockey family. Your brother Alex right now at Merrimack. You guys haven't played Merrimack yet, and Eric doing well with the Devils. Have you talked to those guys lately?
Yeah, I have. I try to keep in touch with them, you know, every week, and Eric's doing all right, and Alex seems like Merrimack's off to a good start, so it'll be fun to play against them hopefully this year, so we'll see how that works out.
Was it tough for you coming in, facing some of those inevitable comparisons between you and your brother Eric?
You know, I've played with the comparisons, you know, my whole life, and you know, it's hard sometimes because we're kind of different players when people try to compare us, and you know, that's what you really got to look at, and he's kind of maybe a little more offensively than I am, and you know, I just got to, you know, I've grown up with you know, being his younger brother, and it's hard sometimes, so I just had to deal with it.
Yeah. Okay. Maine freshman defenseman Jason Weinrich, his team right now leading the Miami Redskins 7-0. When we come back, we'll have third period action.